Big Herc is, I did his channel. He stands up and walks around the room.
Yeah.
Like,
he's like, I got this fucking rat in my house.
furious.
So when my investigation started down here in Tampa, I had a parking company that was a multi-million-dollar company. And I had guys like Duke Mandel that was cooperating. Then I had 717, the Accardi brothers. They were cooperating against me. Then I had Terry Scaglione, who was one of my partners. He was an informant. And, you know, in those days, I was known actually as a mob guy. I was later on in Cigar City magazine. Terry's grandfather was a made guy. So when all these guys are cooperating, the FBI comes in with a sting. And they start making up phony cards and going to parking companies of only my lots and all my places, but nobody else's. And I go, this ain't right. And I tell Terry at the time, he's my partner, do not talk to this guy. Don't threaten him. I'll set up a meeting. So I set up a meeting for him to meet us at the Causeway, at the restaurant, the Causeway. Remember the restaurant on the left? I forget what it was called. Right before...
Gators?
Not Gators. What is that restaurant that was there for years?
There was like the Sandy Pelican, wasn't there?
It was right before those two places that were there that were popular. Whatever the place
Thinking
is.
of Scarlett's.
It was a little restaurant where you pull up. It was right on the water. Anyway, we meet there, and he comes with this woman, and I get them drinking. And when he goes to the bathroom, I ask her about 5-6 questions. And I said, don't talk when he sat down. I asked him 5 or 6 questions, like what kind of car did you come in? When did you get married? Where'd you meet? Do you have a dog? What's the dog's name? He couldn't answer them.
Right.
And he goes, I go, listen, I know who you are.
Yeah.
And he says, he goes, how do you know? I goes, you only gave cards out to my lots trying to fuck with my people only and nobody other companies. So I knew you were trying to do something to me. I says, and your cards are cheap. So if you had all the money you had, you should have spent some more money. He goes, do you need a friend? I don't need any friends. I said, I got enough friends. I said, see you later. Have a good day. But I knew what you were doing. Because he was trying to get me to clean money for him. He said he had an organization. He said he owned nightclubs offshore, and he was trying to maneuver me in a fraud for drug running and whatever else.
Money laundering.
Money laundering for my parking company with cash. But I had all these guys, and they're all involved. They're all trying to set me up at the same time, besides the agent. So, you know, later on, I lose my company. But this was a regular thing. When you're on the street like this, they're going to come at you every which way. You're not going to last long. For people to think that, and that's always my message in all my shows, is do the right thing with your life, because it's short-lived if you think you're going to get away with taking all that money, because 99.9% of people are going to get caught. And guys are going to give you up because their life's going to come before yours and their families. And if you think any different, it's naive. And you learn the hard way.
So what happened with me was I was out on bail. Now, we're going to get to the Newt story, but this is the Newt Gingrich thing. But I was out on bail, and Kenny, I don't know, we're partners, right? You know, you want that one guy, you know? So I'm like trying to make a decision. Do I run? Do I not? I go to Astoria Manor. I meet the owner of Astoria Manor, who I'm good friends with him. So I became a friend of him through Joey, and Joey, my friend, Bag of Donuts, was good with them. So I became friends with him, and he says to me, "This is the shrimp boat in Nicaragua gig. I'm going to be a shrimp boat captain in Nicaragua." So I mentioned it to Kenny. Nah, I'm not interested. I got my pension. I'm going to try to just maybe.
Wasn't Adam Sandler selling shrimps or something? What's his one of those comedies?
You're thinking.
The guy, the idiot that stands at the bus stop.
Forrest
Gump. Forrest Gump.
All I can think of is
Forrest Gump.
So they're going to make me Forrest Gump, and I don't care. I don't want to go to prison for life. You know, who wants to?
There's a resemblance.
So I'm running. Your turn with the glasses. So I'm running. I go on the. I'm gonna run. I don't have any fucking. You guys are great with passports. I don't have anything, but I'm gonna run anyway. Okay, but I have to get the money. So while I'm out on bail, I don't know. Kenny's already cooperating.
Yeah,
I don't know. So, Kenny, what do you want to do? You want to go? No, I'm good. Maybe I get 5 years and do this or that. He says, I don't want to do any time, but, you know, I'm not giving up my pension. I can't run, and he can't run and keep his 3/4 disability pension that I got him for the rest of his life. He can't keep it. So, I don't know. So he says, he calls me and says, you want to go fishing? So, what the fuck do you want to go fishing for? Why do I want to go fishing? I got bills to pay. I got 3-4 houses with mortgages. I got no job. I got shit's going bad. He wants to go fishing because he's got a pension, I figure. He meets me at one of my houses. We sit down. We get in the car. He opens the window. Kenny had hair like you, perfect. You know, and you, yeah, and almost me. So yeah, so and he never opened the window in his fucking life because it would blow his hair. So he gets in the car, he adjusts the seat. Now, why did he adjust the seat?
Put the wire.
He put the transponder under the fucking seat of the car. I don't know this. I found out later on. And he's wearing a fucking wire, so that's why he opened the window. He thinks, or they think, they get a better transmission with the wire because the window's open. He gets in the car. He's in the car 15, 20 seconds. He starts telling me about this fishing trip we're going on. I'm yelling at him, what the fuck fishing? I don't want to go fishing. I got no money. You want to go fishing? He goes, no. You remember we were talking about the shrimp? No, he didn't want to say it. He didn't want to be the one to say the words. Yeah. It had to come from me. Otherwise, it would have been something that he instigated. I said, oh, you mean the shrimp boat captain in Nicaragua? He goes, yeah! He jumps up and down like your friend there going, no, don't. The FBI, we never lied. So now we're in the car, right? And we're driving, and I go 1 block, and there's somebody sitting there. I go, someone's in that car. Long story short, it was the agent. I was shaking the car, and they cut this out of they cut this out of the documentary. It was in one of the originals. He's in the car holding on for dear life. So I'm shaking the fucking. It's a burgundy Pathfinder. We're blacked out. You can't see anything. He's in the back, going back and forth, tossing all around in the car. He's saying, "I'm gonna have to roll in the street with this fucking guy. I got no guns." He knows that. So
right.
He can't shoot me. He knows I got no guns. So so I go, Kenny, the car. We got to check the car. And Kenny's like, well, what's the difference if someone's in there or not? I went, you motherfucker, are you serious? I mean, someone might be following us and you don't want to know? What's the difference if they're following us or not? So we get in the car, we drive around. I see another car. I go, another one. Guy's reading the newspaper. Oh, you're reading the newspaper on a block by my house. Two fat detectives.
Right.
Come on, that's stupid. So now we're driving and I go to him. So he starts going down the list. And I'm like, this isn't right. This isn't right. We're going, this guy, this thing. Remember we did this. Remember we did that. Remember Batter. Remember Adam. Remember the car. Remember the money. Remember the fucking heroin. All this shit. Gordo, Eddie, all these fucking cop, this cop, that cop. He's mentioned all these names. And finally I go to him. What about the cash in your freezer that they missed? Don't talk about my money. Don't talk about my cash. I'm like, oh, we can only talk about my money in my case. He wants to know, he's asking me if I got money in the Cayman Islands. Yeah. I got bank. I got 100,000 cash laying around.
You might have found out about my money.
Yeah, you might have been.
I used to live in the Cayman too when I was on the run. Yeah.
So, but don't talk about my fucking money in my freezer. We can only talk about mine.
Right.
He goes, so you know what his answer was? It was a good answer. The guy gave some good answer. I will give him credit. He goes, I know about my stuff. I just want to know we're on the same page with your stuff. Yeah. So it was a good answer, because if they ask me about Mike this and Mike that, I want to be on the same page with you with my answer. So the fucking cocksucker had a good enough answer to get him through that, And so I understand when you start telling me, I didn't lie to the FBI, but he didn't tell the truth. He didn't tell everything.
Yeah.
Just like Kenny, he didn't tell him that there was 15 and 20,000 cash in his fridge. And now he was hiding it from them and he didn't want to blow his fucking deal. That's why they get scared. Because they say to you right up, right?
Yeah, don't lie.
Don't lie.
If we catch you lying.
You're done.
I know a bunch of guys that were in prison that they just lied about and then they'll take all your information, they'll use your information, and then they're looking for any reason at all to try and fuck you out of it.
Correct. Yeah. So that's what he was scared of, and that's what that guy and that girl, they were afraid of because they didn't admit that their home was illegitimately gained, obviously.
Hi. In these times where there is so much hatred in the world, we need to come together and help my friend Matthew Cox. Right now, he's desperate for your help, and he has opened a Patreon account in which for $10, you can get him to send you a thank you for your $10. The second tier is $50, and you will have access to all of my videos and some of his videos the whole length. That's the length of the video, by the way. Tier number 3, you will get one of these original paintings, collectibles, 1 out of 10s. They may not be worth a lot, but when Matt dies, they will be worth a lot. And the way he's living, they will be worth a lot pretty soon. So please support his cause and visit his Patreon account.
Oh, well, they had a ton of.
Well, you know, it's like anything else. They're naive to the system. You know, when they're trying to manipulate a system, and once that ball starts rolling, it ain't going away. We all know that. And, you know, I missed one of the guys before, actually, when my car stuff was going on, Timmy Donovan. He's another guy that wanted to pretend like he was a gangster. He was friends with me since a kid. He ends up testifying against me. He got the agents involved in setting up stings against us. And then he testified in other trials, 4 guys against guys. And, you know, he's been an informant for a while. But he was one of these guys that was maneuvering on the street. And when he gets jammed up, he thinks he can back up and just give everybody up. And then they find out the hard way that, you know, you're going to lie, you're going to be fucked too. But, you know, he went forward and testified against me and some other guys. And he ends up getting out from under it. And he ran out of Tampa. But once this system starts on you and you're doing something, whether you're a gangster, whether you're mortgage fraud, whether you're an ex-cop, or, you know, people that are out on the street don't understand. When they put an investigation like on, you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
When they know that you're the guy and they're going to target you, they have the resources. This is America.
Yeah.
And you're not beating them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always, I've mentioned this a couple of times, is that guys have, like when I did this show Concrete.
Right.
Did you do
Podcast,
Yeah, I did Concrete.
Podcast kid here.
Yeah, he's a nice
interesting
kid.
guy.
Danny.
Interesting guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did Concrete, and like I got a ton of people that were reaching out to me. You know, they track me through Instagram and
Yeah,
Facebook
right.
and shit and Messenger, and start being like, "Hey, bro, can I talk to you?"
Yeah.
I go,
Yeah.
you know, like I'll help you commit your fraud again. Like, can you coach me on how to do it? And I'll walk in the bank and I'll this.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, bro, I'm not going back to fucking prison.
Yeah,
and you know, no, bro, I already do credit card fraud, but I'm not at your level. I'm like, I'm not interested, bro. I'm just happy to be able to turn the fucking TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. My own click.
Yeah.
My own fucking
good.
channel changer.
I had one guy that was communicating with me, right, from New York.
Right.
Hey, man, I've been in trouble before. I know, like, never asked me anything. Just like, hey, just wanted to reach out and say, if you ever need anything, like, I'm here for you. If you ever come to fucking New York, like, I've watched your shit a bunch of times. I watched you on a couple podcasts. You're a pretty cool guy. I like you, like how you're honest. Just real cool.
Right.
But he'd heard me talk about how guys keep reaching out to me,
Yes.
asking me to help them commit fraud.
Right.
So he didn't say anything. So he never mentioned it. This went on for 6 months. One day he says, hey, my girlfriend's in Tampa. I'm flying down there. I've never heard about the girlfriend, but he's like, I was wondering if you wouldn't mind grabbing some Starbucks coffee. Yeah, I know you like coffee. I said, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So he flies down.
We've all met people in that, way.
He
On
flies
social
in.
media, we meet people.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not scared. You scared?
No, there's
Yeah.
a Starbucks
Yeah.
next to the fucking.
Well, it's good for your business when you're networking and whatever.
Well, yeah, and I've got to go there. It's right next to the
Legitimate
art store.
business I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, legit.
It's right next to the art place.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. So I go and he comes and we have we drink some coffee and I sit down and we're 2 minutes in the conversation and he's like, yeah, I own in Manhattan. He owns a hair salon.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I've owned it for this long. My dad owned it. We have a long lease. We have this. Then my dad died. I that. So he goes on and on.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, cool. He said, yeah, you know, the lease is coming up and this, and I don't want to stay in Manhattan anymore. I'd like to get rid of it. I'd like to come down here. He is, you know, but the problem is, you know, money. And he's like, right now I got this much money. I forget what it was, a few $100,000,
Right.
where I can do this. And so I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, what, but if I could get like 300,000-400,000 more, I come down here with $500,000. I could get a place. I could do this. I could do that. I'm like, right. He said, so want to let you know, I told you I was in jail, right? I didn't give nobody up. I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking, yeah, you did 3 years in a fucking state prison, or a state fucking medium security prison.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. Okay.
Yeah.
But he's like, I didn't give anybody, and plus the kind of people, he couldn't give up the kind of people, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they were family members and shit. Like, you're not giving up your mom.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, okay. I'm like, right. He's like, so I want you to know I'm a solid guy. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And he goes, like, if you could help me, he's like, I'll go in the fucking bank. I'll do everything that you don't have to be on film. And I'm like, I go, so I let him make his pitch.
Right.
And I look at him, I went, okay. I said, first of all, you don't have the skill set to figure this out. Secondly, because he wanted me to spend a week with me and have me teach him.
Right.
I said, no. I go, so I'd have to be involved. That's cool, bro. Like, I'll split everything with you.
Oh.
I said, I understand. I said, I appreciate that. I said, so if I was willing to teach you everything that I know, get you up to a point where you could do it yourself, or if I was willing to set the whole thing up and you're a crash test dummy, you walk in the bank, you come out. He goes, right. I said, what the fuck do I need you for?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I said, why would I split anything with? Why would I get a co-defendant
Right.
that can turn on me? No, I wouldn't do that, bro. I said, here's the thing. I said, you don't have to. You'll fuck up along the way.
Your life.
You'll tell somebody. You'll get caught. I said, and you don't have to tell anybody. You've already got me indicted.
Right.
Your cell phone has text messages.
Yeah.
You now flew down here. They have the I said they have satellite images
GPS.
of you making your calls. I said, I'm in here. I said, I'm in your phone.
Global
I said,
positioning.
We're both
here today.
We've
Same
both
time.
been texting.
Yes.
We're done.
Yeah.
I said, I don't ever have to say anything. I said, do you know how hard it is for them to indict me? Mr. Cox and this guy were in the same place at the same time. This guy 2 months later got $1 million
Has a
and walked
mortgage.
away.
Right.
And we caught him 4 months later when he told his girlfriend. I said, so I said, even if you said he had nothing to do with it, I said, they're going to say that to the grand jury. I'm getting indicted.
Doesn't
I said,
matter. You'll
when
get
I,
indicted.
When
Yeah.
I go to trial,
Yeah.
because I wouldn't testify you at trial. I said, doesn't matter.
Doesn't
I
matter,
can't get on the stand
I can't.
because they're going to say, Mr. Cox, how many times have you been in prison? How many times have you been charged? How many of this? How many of that? I said, I'm done.
Right.
So I said, they'll get 3 guys from the fucking jail
Yeah.
to say that I was involved.
Of course.
They'll stand up. The jury's like, he's been indicted. He won't
Right.
take the fucking stand. He's all this. We can see the communications. We can see the guy fly down.
Right.
These 3 guys say he did it.
Done.
Mr. Cox,
Put a fork.
he'll probably just get probation. I said, and the judge will give me 30 fucking
Yeah,
years
right.
and I'll never see the light of day again. I
Right.
said, and you don't have to cooperate.
Right.
I said, that's the position I'm in. I said, so I appreciate you coming down, and I'm so sorry that you had to fly down here to hear this. I could have told you on a fucking phone call. And I got up and I got in my car and I left
Yeah.
because I'm done.
Yeah.
If the DEA came to me right now and said, we've just indicted you on a 10-kilo conspiracy, I've never seen cocaine in my life. You know what I'd say? Can I get a deal? I mean, can I work something out?
right,
I'm done.
right,
I know.
yeah,
There's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing you can do. You go.
I'm like, I already know you got me. Can I
Yeah.
get 3 years?
Yeah.
Can you put me here so that
Yeah,
my
close.
so my girlfriend can come visit me
Yeah.
while she hangs out?
Yeah, well, she's,
You know, I mean,
yeah. Whilst we hope.
right,
Yeah.
right. For the 6 months that
Yeah.
she stays on the phone until
Yeah,
she finally gets
just
tired of me
somebody-
saying put
yeah,
money
I
on my
love you.
books.
I love you. I love you.
Can you please put money on my books? I don't.
God, I feel bad. I always felt bad for those guys on
Yeah,
the phone. Like
yeah.
Saturday morning. Where the fuck were you last
Oh,
night?
I know you're talking about this, right? You know
what?
what I joke about everybody on Friday night? Everybody run after we go through count. They run for the phone.
Yes.
And especially back in the old days of McKean and stuff, because you had late night.
Yeah.
So they'd run for the phones, and I would tell like a young guy that was in the joint,
Beginning stages.
I go,
Just
wait.
beginning stages.
let them run. That line's going to dissipate in a minute.
Nobody's
And
answering.
I go, listen, their families all do the same thing.
Yeah.
I went to sleep. The baby was sleeping. I
Yeah.
turned the ringer off, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they know everybody knows 3/4 or 9/10 of my bullshit.
Right.
So the next morning, they wake up at the crack of dawn, as soon as the
Run
door's
out, break
cracked,
the door.
and they call the house like he said, and they start yelling, "Where were you? I know you were out." And you know, and it is what it is. Listen, you can't blame them. They ain't gonna stop their lives while everybody's in jail. So you know, they're around for the good times. They go for the ride. And as soon as the ride ends, everybody's skirting out on you or testifying against you. Just the way it works.
I showed up at Mariana. This makes me feel. I show up at Mariana. Now I've been in New York for 2 years, right? I get shipped to Mariana, and I meet this guy. His name is Stanislopoulos, whatever. Nice kid from New York. He's funny because he had a flat ass and he was a hairy Greek guy, so he had hair from here to down to his feet. He could be naked and he looked like he had a cover on. Anyway, so he says. He says they broke him in prison. They said to him, and I'm not going to say that exactly what they said. Just picture right now, she's taking a massive dick right now, and you're sitting here in prison worried about it. Just hold on, it's happening right now. You need to picture that happening right now, because for the next 18 year sentence he got, you know. You got to remember, you're done. You're not home. You're not hitting it. It's getting taken care of without you. He said, this is him. I wanted to kill this guy that he told me that this woman I loved, that I got 18 years and she's going to hang on by me. He said, I wanted to kill him, but the guy was too big, so I couldn't do anything to him. He said, I sat there and thought about it. He says, for about 2-3 weeks. He said, then I realized nothing I can do.
You know, I was in Hillsborough, right? I'm sitting in a block. Guy's about 6'6", He comes back, and he took a 3-year plea. Just what you said, 3, and he was facing, I think, 5 or 6. He takes a 3-year plea. Another guy goes, and we told him to take plea, this other guy. He goes and he blows trial, he gets 27 years. So he's crying, right? He comes back, can't blame the guy,
No,
right?
yeah.
He's crying, it's normal.
We're human. Even though
and he's
gangsters are human.
Oh, yeah. And I
cried like a small
I
child.
See this, yeah. And I seen the other guy, and he starts telling him, "Oh, man, stop being a punk, man. Take it on the chin." And so the other guy says, "I should have cooperated." Now he says it straight out. Everybody's sitting there. So he goes, "What'd you say, man? I'm a soldier." He says, "Don't talk like that." And then he says to him, "Oh, shit, yeah, you're a soldier. You got 3 years. It's easy to be a soldier at 3 years."
Yeah.
He goes, "I'm 40 years old. I got 27 years. My life's over now."
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you're done.
And it's funny is because you said it before. And for the naive kids that are out there, the guy that's going to get 30 years, 27 years, 35 years, and you got this dummy talking about 3 years. Well, who can't do 3 years?
Yeah.
3 years, of course you're going to be a soldier. Talk that shit when you're facing that 30
years.
because, they all talk that.
Yeah, they're all
And then until that time comes. And then that time comes and they're seeing everybody turning on them. And they're getting 30 and all their friends are giving them up. And, the usual, everybody's saving themselves and they're giving you up. Then the reality comes in. What do I do now? Because the reality is, guys are going to give you up.
It comes to all of us.
Oh,
at
everybody
some point.
gave me up. I just named another guy, Mike Mallon. I can name them all. Just that this is just the Tampa guys that were giving me up. I had dozens of guys coming in, including a guard from a prison that tried to set me up on a telephone that was working with us. So, you got to get everybody and their mother running in to try to save themselves and go against you. That's just the way it is. And the guys that do stand, you said it earlier a little bit and you stopped short. Guys that talk, some of them are never offered to talk.
Right.
There is no deal for them
Right.
because they don't know anything, because of maybe it's a bad crime. They killed a kid or killed a woman or something. So they're not going to offer them anything, or they're not big enough. It's just for them to ask them for anything. So those are the guys that, so when people say the jails are full of guys, but 3/4 or 9/10 of them or 99% of them would talk or are talking. Or,
if they had someone to give up. Right. Yeah.
And guys really don't, that ain't true. Yeah, it is true. If you know anybody in this life, it's true.
Yeah.
And I've said it over and over. You talk about mob because I was involved in a mob. Every mob boss and every crew was ratted.
Everyone.
Everyone. So this.
Yeah, but so Johnny, another thing, and the guys that have it ratted were working with the FBI, many of them,
yeah.
for years. Is this true?
Yeah, of
I mean,
course.
this is what we've come to know.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you've heard about some of the stories. Mob boss so-and-so. Oh, he
The
was
whole
giving information
boss,
to
Joe,
the FBI
listen,
for years.
I used to-
so he could run his own crew without problem.
Well, this was Whitey Bulger in Boston.
Right.
This was Joe Messina when he got caught. He wore a wire, and his whole crew, captains down, were all talking.
What about Chapo and Mayo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about Chapo. What about him?
Chapo and Meyer were giving information to the DEA in Mexico for like a decade on the other cartels.
The rivals, yeah.
On their rivals.
Yeah, I've gotten that information.
You watch The Godfather? It's a movie, right?
Yeah,
It's a fantasy. It's a movie. Everybody loves it. But the part they leave out is every outfit is working with law enforcement on the street, giving up the other outfit.
Yep.
They're dropping dimes on them. So Prohibition, if you watch it, this is what went on. So they could catch their load. So what is that? Is that considered a rat? It's not a rat. It just
No, they
depends on what.
always-
So this dumb word, what people use is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's what was the guy? Big Herc.
Yeah.
Big Herc is I did his channel.
Oh, did you?
Bro, are you serious?
Oh, I know when you hammered because what you said, right? You said,
Yeah, in the middle, like this guy I fucking contact. Hey, by the way, such and such, I'm going to be in LA. I don't know if you want me. Absolutely, yeah. I said, do you need to? You want to talk to me or anything? And, no, I know your story. I know that. Okay, cool. He knows my story. We're
right.
good. I get there. He comes in. They sit down. We start talking, and he's like, yeah, this and that. And I should have known when I started telling my story. I said, yeah. I said, so they caught my buddy, who was actually my best friend.
Right.
The second time, like the one people wore a wire, and he's like, oh man. I was like, yeah, well, anyway, they did what they did. It's fine. They got kids. That's fine. And he kind of like looked at me. I keep going.
Yeah.
Then I get to where my buddy got caught in Orlando and told on me. And I said, he is fuck your best fucking friend. And I went, yeah, well, he's got a daughter. I said, he did what he did, whatever. And he's like, And you see it in his face, and I'm starting to
I
realize.
think I saw this. From
Yeah,
you.
when you, you did see.
I
We
argued
talked
with
about
him.
this. Yeah, I remember.
I'm looking at him thinking.
I remember
I
this.
started thinking, I don't think he does know my story. And then so as when I get to the point where then they give me,
But then
boom.
you just straight out said
Oh
it.
yeah, 26 years. Oh, I knew because by that point I'm ready for the fucking shock value.
Oh, yeah.
Then the boom, I said, yeah, they give me fucking. I said they catch me, I said, and they give me 26 years, and he's like 26 years. You could see it in his face, and I went, oh yeah. I said, bro, and trust me. I said like my lawyer told me to cooperate. I said, and he goes, like that. I said,
Yeah.
I said, oh no, I fucking tried. I fucking was ready to cut everybody's throat.
Right.
And he was like. Now I realize, you don't
don't know
Let
my
me go ahead and
story.
go in. I start, bam, bam. Here's what you don't see. The card filled up. So he had to they cut the card and they cut the thing. He stands up and walks around the room.
Yeah.
Like,
He's like, I got this fucking rat in my house.
furious. He's furious. And I realized this guy's huge.
Yeah.
His cameraman, who's also, he told me they'd both been in the fucking in the pen.
Right.
He's done state time. He's fucking covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at him thinking, I'm in a hotel room with these two fucking maniacs in the middle of COVID. The place is empty. Like, this could go bad for me.
Yes, this could go bad.
So instead of, I start arguing back.
Yeah.
But instead of really going in hard,
Yeah.
like being a real dick, like, because
Right.
I've had these conversations where I've just tried to, where the guy ends up just looking, like I just make,
You
I basically
annihilate him.
start
You
saying,
annihilate him. Yeah.
You're an
Right.
idiot.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
telling him
Yeah.
you're a fucking,
I know.
But I realized I got nobody here. These
You got
guys
no backup
beat
right
the
now.
fucking
No one
piss
can
out
call
of me.
911 for you.
Yeah. So,
I'm-
but I started arguing with him. But what his whole thing was, it was like, so no, you would never cooperate. Like, no. And I'm sitting there. All I can think of is,
I've heard this 1,000 times.
yeah. So you're, yeah, exactly.
I've heard
Not
this
just that.
1,000
So
times.
you realize that your next door neighbor is running a child sex ring.
Right.
Right. It's good. And I've had this conversation where they're always like, "Oh, I fucking take care of it myself." Really? So because he's a pedophile, you go kill him, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. There's a list in every fucking state. How many pedophiles
Right.
have you killed?
That's right.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah, really. Have you gone
Oh,
around?
they all
Right.
talk
They all
bullshit.
talk-
They
it's all
talk
bullshit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all.
Hi, my name is Juan Sanchez, and you know me from Matthew Cox podcast. I'm reaching out to you right now so you can go to his Patreon account and sponsor one of his 3 tiers he has. The first tier will give you a thank you text from him. The second tier will give you access to all of his videos, including the ones that I'm in, full length, sorry. The third tier includes all of that, plus one of these wonderful collectible paintings. Listen, I know there is hungry children in Africa. I know there is people starving in South America. But we need to help Matthew Cox, his cause. Please support him, go to Patreon, and help him help me help you.
I say this all the time about the mob. I said there's guys that cooperate all over the place. Bosses now. I'm not talking about underlings. Why don't you start there? And then maybe somebody will believe your bullshit.
Yeah.
How come nobody's hitting any of these bosses all these years? So, they talk shit, but they don't even own a gun, 3/4 of these guys. That's why I make fun of them. And people say, oh, fuck him. No, the reality of it is the reality. I had good friends of mine that grew up with me. I get it why they cooperated against me. Just what you said. I get it. I'm not going to go before their family. And if anybody thinks any different, they're full of shit.
Yeah.
Or they're dumb and naive.
How many people did you, and now this is a question I'm asking both of you, because, how many people did you call up anybody or did you inform anybody, listen, I'm going down, get on my back because I'm going down anyway? Did you?
When I was in the pen.
Do you know what I'm talking about, right? Like I called up friends of mine
Yeah.
and said, listen, they already got indicted, but they weren't me. They
Yeah.
weren't the front page of the Daily News. There were nobodies in the case.
When I took off on the run, before I left, I had dinner and I invited, there was like 8 or 9 people, my brokers. And I told them all, I said, look, I'm going on the run. I'm taking off. I'm like, if you guys get indicted or get talked to by the FBI, like tell on me.
Right.
Everybody tell on me. Tell them you didn't know anything. It was me. Like just fucking like, oh, I'm not gonna do.
Right.
all
Yeah.
of
How many
I'm
guys
not gonna do that? I'm like, all right, well,
Every
do
one
what
of
you-
them could sign an
Oh.
agreement, right?
They
You know
were
what-
driving.
you know
They
what's
were waiting
funny?
in the fucking.
What I was going to say is when I'm in the pen, I'm getting phone call after phone call and message after message. This guy's ratting, that guy's ratting. And I'm looking at the
You had a
guys that
phone.
with me.
You had a fucking phone.
Smuggle phones. We're in
Yeah.
Brazil.
Oh, I'm waiting.
So there's
what
no
prison
phones
were you
there.
in?
There's no
Oh,
nothing.
okay.
Smuggle phones. And so some of the guys, we did the movie about Klaus and, we discussed this.
What movie?
And we're doing a series called Nordic Knockouts about Klaus's life.
Oh, is
in
it out yet?
Brazil, and it'll be out next month.
Okay.
Yeah. But so
Help them promote a little, all right?
Klaus, we're promoting you.
Yeah.
So actually, I'm doing a radio show tomorrow in Denmark. I think 4:00. So about the show and about murder and things like that. But when these guys are all rolling one after another, I look at my friend. I go, "This ain't no surprise." I mean, you know, I've been in the street my whole life. I says, so the thing is, when you start hearing about the bosses all going against you, and when you hear about the bosses' guys and captains, now you're saying to yourself, you got to laugh and say, they're so full of shit, all this tough talk they all got. And they all got an excuse why they're meeting the FBI, why they're sitting down, why they're only giving a little information, why they do. This is nonsense talk. You know as well as I do. All these guys are talking. All of them are either doing it undercover snitches or they're informants or whatever they're doing. So when people think, when I was sitting there and think that they were going to do anything different, I'd be a fool to believe they're not going to talk. So when you talk to these guys, they know what it is. They know what all these guys are talking. They know exactly what it is. So you know.
So all the stand-up guys that the stand-up guys, like you went to the meeting with 8 guys, right?
Yeah.
And said, listen,
Right.
I got a problem. I'm leaving. Cover your ass. No, I'm a gangster. I'm not going to do it. Yeah. These guys are with the pen, right?
Yeah. Listen, nobody's killing each other in the mortgage in a fucking over mortgage. Yeah.
Normally.
I mean, that's not.
They're not killing anybody in the mob either. This
Yeah.
ain't 40 years ago with the myth of the mob. You know, they're all trying to live off of 40 years ago,
Right.
30 years ago.
Yeah.
This doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
You had a handful of killings within the mafia in the last 20 years. Handful.
Yeah.
You know, it's over. With the technology, with the sentences.
Can't get away with anything today.
They're making each other in their underwear.
Otherwise,
The
there's one
guys
or
are
two we
wearing
might have-
wires during the
There's
ceremony.
one or two we might have hit already.
Yeah. Come on. It's done.
What is the name? Oh God, Joey Marlino, Skinny Joe.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
like
the Philly
I was,
guy.
I was
The
locked
Philly
up.
guy.
Yeah, I was locked up with him.
How
So-
was he? Is he a nice guy? I mean, I don't know. You
I-
don't know either?
I mean, I had lunch at his table 2 or 3 times. He had no like in Coleman.
Right.
I like guys are coming up to me like, Cox, how much time you got? I'm like, I got 26 years. I'm like, but somebody could fuck up and tell me where there's a body. I'll be out of here tomorrow.
Right.
And they go, oh, that's how it is. I go, that's exactly how it is. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not here to make friends.
Right.
Like I was no
Right.
qualms. And then
Right.
when I actually got my sentence reduced and everybody knew,
Oh, yeah.
it was
Yeah.
10 times as bad. So
All you had to do is, I
Marlino-
guess I found out where the body was.
Yeah, an idiot.
Oh,
You idiot.
yeah, I'm not shy about it. Like
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Guys are like, damn, bro. Like,
Yeah, damn, bro.
like they're like, yeah, they're like, shit, man, you ain't. So I guess you ain't the guy to fucking do nothing with. I'm like, bro, you better hope they talk to you before they talk to me. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm telling them in the car on the way there.
Yeah,
And
right.
they're like, God damn, Cox.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
how it is.
Yeah.
And just joking around and walk away. But the point is that Marlino's having lunch with me on a couple of occasions.
Yeah.
And Tommy's there.
Right.
And Tommy, when we go to sit, like Marlino's coming over to bring his tray, he's like, listen, do not fucking say a thing about cooperation. Do not, if like he doesn't have any clue, he has no, and he sits down and eats with me and I fucking say a thing to him because Tommy's so flipped fucking out over it.
Yeah.
Like he's like, don't say a fucking, if he fucking knew that you did, and Marlino obviously has an issue with it, but he also got what he get? A couple of years?
Yeah. 3 years? Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
2 years, I think. On it.
Yeah. But I mean,
A gambling beef or something?
How long did Tommy get on that? 6 months?
oh God, I think he got like 6 months. And listen, you'd have fucking thought they gave him 10 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no
You'd think
question.
he fucking,
no
he
question.
bitched and moaned he fucking hustled and bitched and moaned the whole time. I was like, what are you doing? He was like, I fucking believe they gave me this much time. Can't believe it. I'm like, are you?
You spent
Like,
more
bro,
time taking a shit.
I was gonna
You
say,
spent
I-
more time taking a
I
shit.
stood in lines longer than you. Fucking, what are you talking about? Like, I need to get halfway house. You got to call. Like, he's bribing people. Go talk to the fucking counselor. Go this, go that. It's like, what are you doing, bro? It's 6 months. It's a joke. You're going to get halfway house. Calm down. You'll get a few months. I mean,
Yeah,
fucking
it's
he complained.
incredible.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, he was one of the guys putting money on your books. He always had food. He's always like, you need anything? He did the whole
So
thing.
he did a lot of bribe work there too.
Yeah, but I'm saying he was actually a very good, good to me when we were in prison. So he was cool.
Yeah, it was
cool.
good to you. Yeah.
But the problem with him is, he's so hyper. He has to be doing something all the time. He can't calm down.
Okay.
He's constantly.
He's a little unstable. Yeah, we
Yeah.
found a little bit of his instability. I don't want to get into that, But anyway, so you guys had lunch with Joey.
Yeah, well, they ate all
Skinny
the
Joey.
time.
What do they call him? Skinny Joey? I mean, is
Skinny
that his
I think he
nickname?
likes. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know,
But they had
Yeah.
they had lunch all the time. But I'm saying it's comical because I would go and sit at his table. He fucking just, you know, hey, what's up? How are you doing?
I remember sitting at a table. I was telling you the other day, we're in Mariana. McKeon, and a friend of mine, Scott Hogan, comes sits down. And Scott is spatial unawareness. He's not aware of spatialness. So he would be like 8 guys would be watching TV, and he'd put his back to 8 guys, you know, and they'd be sitting right here. So they couldn't see the TV in front of them. And, you know, everybody in prison, they're trying to be polite. They don't want to be, hey, dude, move your fucking ass. You know what I'm saying? So, or they'd be looking around and, like, they'd be going,
That's
hey.
polite.
They'd be go, hey. And all of a sudden, I see Scott. I come up, I run over and grab Scott. He goes, what? I go, come here. I want to talk to you. He goes, what? I go, can you stand over here? There's 8 guys behind you trying to watch the fucking game, and you're standing in front of them. So he sits down at lunch with us one day. And he sat with me quite often, but there's another guy at the table who's just straight up convict all his life. This guy's a convict all his life. We're inmates. This guy's a convict. He's done state bids. He's done everything in his life.
It's his whole life.
This is his whole life, right? This is his life. This is what he's done. Scott sits down, and he goes, takes up a fucking tissue and blows his nose at the table. The guy gets up and says, you dirty motherfucker. Don't you ever do that in front of me again. I'm like, Scott, what are you? I'm trying to grab him. Don't do that. You know, and it was a hanker. It was a hanker like this big.
But I told you the other day, a guy did it at the chow hall, right? I wasn't sitting there. I was at another table. And I didn't know the day before the guy warned him. He passed gas. The next day, or 2 days, or whatever it was, a week, I don't know, because I wasn't at the table. I'm sitting, I missed it. I blinked
where
my
was
eye.
this? What prison was this at?
I was McKean.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
And
The Dream.
Woodley was with me.
Lee?
So the guy must have passed gas again. The guy just walked up and fucking hit him a shot and beat him all over the chow, which is a bad place to beat somebody.
Yeah, you don't want to fight in
He's
chow hall.
inciting a riot
Yeah.
charges and all that.
Right.
But guys don't understand prison. It's, you know, a lot of things. There's another time I was in Allenwood and the guy has, you know, they all put their chairs in front for the TV and whatever, you know the routine.
Somebody sat in his spot.
So no, I came in. I came in and
Yeah.
there was no chair and I put my chair there. And the guy taps me on the shoulder and he says, you know, I sit here every week. So, you know, you're looking at him now. It's too late now. I'm there.
Yeah.
And I says, yeah, well, you know, there was no chair here. Yeah, but we've been sitting here for
Yeah, yeah.
And in a way, because we know jail, he's got a point.
Yes.
You know, but it's too late because I'm sitting
and
there.
now I'm here.
So,
Right,
you
next week
can't
beat
let
me.
him punk you.
Yeah, right.
So
Exactly.
even though he doesn't think, maybe he's not thinking like that. He's trying to think like,
that we're okay with each
We're
other.
okay.
Yeah. No. You can't.
so now I'm not moving. I go, well, I don't know what you do every week, but I'm here.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
now
Jesus.
my friend comes in from the door and he's looking, he sees something's up and he looks at me and the guy walks out. So I know what he's doing. He's going to go put on his boots.
Yeah.
So I walk over to my friend and he goes, you know, they watch basketball every day in front there. I go, it's too fucking late now. I
Yeah,
says,
now,
you know, I
now
already
it doesn't matter.
I
It don't
already-
matter.
Yeah.
The sausage
yeah,
dinner
it's too
don't
late. I
fucking
already,
matter.
you know, I made the move already
Right.
that I'm here and that I
Right.
didn't, you know, thinking back on it, you know, who knows how do you handle the situation? Because I've been in jails my whole life too. So, you know, now you got to say to yourself, well, it's me. I'm not the other guy. I'm not this average guy sitting here.
Right.
And so he goes and puts his boots on and 6 guys are there. And I think we're going to go. And then one of the guys one of his friends that was friendly with me was like, man, he tells his friend, just go sit there for today. And it back and forth. And I ended up staying. Even though I didn't want to stay anymore. Actually, I didn't want to stay.
You didn't want to watch the game?
No, I didn't
Yeah.
want to watch the
But
game.
at that point, you're not
But
going.
I couldn't go nowhere. So my other friend says, why did you do that? I says, actually, I didn't do it purposely.
Right.
It just happened. And then I just wasn't going to back down after that because it wouldn't look right.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I didn't give a fuck about the game. I didn't give a fuck about the chair. But I kind of was, when you think back on it, I was wrong because, but I just didn't want to let people think that I'm moving for somebody.
Right.
The same situation. I was in the medium, and this guy sat in the other guy's spot, and he waited until the guy, like, he never said nothing. He walked in, he saw it, like other guys knew. Okay,
That
shit,
was his
he's sitting
spot.
in his
Yeah.
spot. He didn't say anything. He waited like 45 minutes. The guy finally got up, picked up his chair, and left. So he comes up, he's like, "Hey, man," he's like, "Look, the spot you were sitting in, that's my spot. Like, I don't." He's like, "Yeah, well, you weren't there." He's like, "I understand, but that's my spot. Like, don't sit there again. All right, all right. I don't want any problems. Just don't sit there." Guy goes, "Yeah, all right, man, whatever." Next day,
Yeah.
puts his chair down. Okay, well, I felt, to me, he handled it right. You weren't sitting there.
Yeah.
He didn't know any better. You tell him later.
Right.
Didn't tell him like yours, where he said, no, he's trying to get you to like move.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, no, now you're embarrassing
Right,
me.
of
Now,
course,
like you
of
said,
course,
now I
yeah.
look like a fucking punk and I can't move. He should have just waited for you to move.
Right.
But then guess what? The next day, guy sat there again.
Yeah. Well, now he's
Now he
he's-
looked at-
Now he's saying, "Let's go."
Yeah.
That's what he said.
He didn't say anything. He just looked at him. He went upstairs. He got a fucking broom for the mob. Came back that water was whack, just
He
right in
had
the back
to.
of the
He
dude
had to.
fell down.
Well, I've seen guys get hit over the head with
He
chairs all
had
the
to.
time.
He had to.
I mean, we all
He
used
had
to
to
put
do
it,
that.
but we all used to put
I-
our chairs out in a spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but you really think about it, when a guy comes in from jailhouse guy, and you're not going to do that to him either, because we've been down a long time.
Yeah.
Saying, listen, I don't care what you did. You know, what made you deserve that spot? And it's not like the chairs are already in place. The chairs are in
Yeah,
place.
if it's frozen,
And we used to put our towel on there or
Yeah.
our blanket, and we put our cup for movie night.
Right.
You know, that's different. But when there's no chair there and you're sitting in the spot, and he goes, that's my spot.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
It gets
Yeah.
stupid.
It-
But
it is.
These are dumb shit things that
Yeah.
happen in
It's-
jail, but
oh,
they're
super-
serious.
I had
Super stupid,
I
yeah.
so I was down 11 years, 11 and a half years, and I might have told you a story. I don't think I told you the story. So I get I watch Friends. Like Friends comes on every day, right? So you know, and I listen. I look forward to watching Friends. Could you imagine? I like Joey and the other assholes on the show. It's fun. Plus Jennifer Aniston's on there, Cox and the other blonde. So it's a fun show. So they do one little thing that I always went like that in the middle, in the introduction to the jingle to the show, right? And I do that, and I do it every time. So some guy, I don't know, Redbone, they call him. He's sitting there with these big Cos headphones on, and he goes, "Hey," I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Can you not clap your fucking hands? It hurts my ears." I go, "Excuse me?" Now he already made a mistake. He wasn't kind. He said, "Oh, you're hurting my ears. Stop me." I go, "Now, what do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Whoa." I said, "I've been doing this for fucking 3 years. Now I'm getting ready to go home in 3 months."
Yeah.
He goes, I've been doing this for 3 years. He goes, well, I don't like it. I said, "Oh, you don't like it?" I go, "Okay, wait till next time." So I said, "I'm going to tell you what." I said, "How about this? You go fuck yourself and don't ever talk to me again." I said, "And I'll do this every day for the rest of the time I'm here." Next day, Mike, you know, he knows, I don't know him.
Right.
Redbone, Mike, come here, I want to talk to you. I said, "This guy wants to fucking bring it, straighten it out, whatever." Because that's what we do in prison.
Right.
Says, come on. And I'm stupid. Because I'm straight up.
Well, you said it. We didn't
Well,
say
because
it.
I'm straight up. I'm straight up. You want to
Right.
talk to me? Come on, let's go talk. You know, what's going to happen when we talk is up to us, right? When we work it out. Walk in his cell, closes the door, and a guy 6'8" stands in front of the door on the other side. And he pulls out a knife like this fucking long. Yeah, I was telling you this story.
Yeah.
I'm never going home. I got nothing to go home to. He's going home in 6 weeks. I got nothing to go home to. You know, he's a guy from D.C. They're actually state inmates.
Yeah.
DC, D.C. prisoners, people don't know.
From
the
Lawton,
federal,
they
the federal
closed it
system.
down, yeah.
So he's a state inmate. And Redbone, and I ain't going home. And I went, I looked at him, and I tell this story. It's intense when I really get into it. And I looked at him, and I said, "Boy, that knife's gonna kill this motherfucker. His own knife. He's gonna die from his own fucking knife." That's how I fucking dealt with it. Of course, I said, "Dear God, forgive me, because I'm gonna kill him, and I'm going home in 3 months."
Well, you know, number one,
Not if
for
you
the
kill
people
him.
that don't know, for the people that don't know, that are listening to this, no
3
one,
months away from going home.
no one is supposed to ever tell somebody when you're going home, because this is what goes on. So if they think you're short, they fuck
They
with
start
you a little
trying
bit.
when
Yeah, they
you're
try
trying
because
it.
they know that
Yeah.
you don't want nothing anymore because you got your hands tied, you're going home. So you
Right.
shouldn't tell anybody when you're going
Yeah,
home.
and I don't know that he knew
But-
that, but
Yeah.
I was well known in prison.
Yeah, but
you know.
listen, when I did the book. I did a book. It's like a handbook, prison rules, things to do and don't do. So, and in one of the other things you guys know.
Oh, you
when
did a book?
Yeah.
How many books?
5 books now.
Jeez.
But
You're
this
some
one I did
writer.
with Nick-
You're some
Nick Chris-
fucking writer.
my
He doesn't
last
speak
one
English.
was-
He doesn't speak English well, but he can write.
I'm listening to you.
I know.
Go ahead.
What's my last one? Mafia International.
There you
with
go.
Lou Romano. But we you know, because of all these stupid little things in jail, we had this other thing. When you go to chow for lunch, guys would put their towels, would tell the guy, "Hey, put my towel on the bench.
Yeah.
Put my towel
yeah,
here."
yeah.
So, you know, the guys
hate
are
that.
eating, nobody's touching the bench
Yeah.
because they're afraid that, you know, they don't want the confrontation guys.
Yeah.
So one of my friends used to put the towel on the bench And I used to tell my friends, Lee, these are some of Lee's with me.
Lee Whitney,
He's a Canada guy. He got caught with 37 tons of weed.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Very nice guy.
We're always
My
playing,
back even.
We're always playing jokes. So we kept taking his towel and we were moving it. And somebody would ask us, is anybody on the bench? Nah, use it. Because guys are asking, they're polite.
Right.
They don't want to issue. And my friend's going crazy. Who's touching my fucking towel?
Oh, it's your own friend.
It's our friend. It's my friend. And we're like, I don't know. So you go over to the guy on the bench. He goes, did you touch my towel? Because he's benching on me.
Yeah.
He goes, I didn't touch your towel. So he don't want to give us up because we told him use the bench.
Yeah.
So he does it again. Finally, he comes over there and we put little snacks on the bench. And he says, you fucking bastards. He goes, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're going to get me in a fight. I said, we ain't going to get in a fight.
Yeah.
But the thing is really crazy that everybody does that. These little games in jail is really ridiculous. Like, who the fuck makes these rules that you put your towel in, you reserve it?
It's yours.
And it's yours, and you're not touching it.
Yeah, they would do that in the showers.
Like, they do everything.
That means I'm
It's
taking a
been there
shower.
for- like
Well,
there's
actually-
a line,
Yeah.
and there's a fucking towel that's been there for 10 minutes.
Actually, in Hillsborough, a guy did do that to me on the second floor, and I was steaming. I had my towel up there, and he just went in.
Right.
And then he told another guy, fuck him, And I'm already got my hands full with trouble. I'm facing all kinds of life sentences. And I'm fucking fuming. I talked to my friend.
How many
Chuck.
life sentences did you face?
Oh, a lot.
20 what?
Yeah. And so I said to my friend,
Matt,
Chuck,
that's up to you on this side.
stand by the door. I just stand by the door. I said, I can't let this go. And I went in, and you remember Hillsborough, they locked the doors automatically locked.
Yeah.
So I went in and I hit the guy. But whatever. And you know what he did? He hit the button and they came up and, I got locked down and whatever. But, these are stupid things. Even I was thinking about like afterwards. You imagine, what would I care that he went in the shower first?
Yeah, now it seems
but
stupid. It's important.
Well, it's
then, though.
important because
Right.
it's a
It's just
thing where
hard to
they think they're
explain.
punking you.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's hard to explain to people outside on the street, like, what's the big deal that he did that?
Right.
Because that's the first thing. And then, and I'm like, and it was a young punky kid. He wasn't a tough guy.
You say the fucking button thing. Like I remember I had a fucking celly one time.
man.
He comes in, we were cellies. Like we ended up being cellies, and he was a fucking Mexican gang member. He's like, listen, Cox. He said, I do this and I do that, but look, sometimes if I have problems with somebody, I'm like, I gotta know. If they come in here, I gotta be able to count on you. And I looked at him, I said, I'm gonna tell you something. If they come in here hard, and he goes, yeah. I said, I'm gonna hit the button on my way out the fucking door. I said, I'm letting you right now. I said, I'm gonna go to the guard.
Yeah.
I said, but you cannot count on me. Do you understand? I will hit the button. I will get the guard.
But
I'm not fucking doing nothing for you, though. I'm not fighting nobody. I got no fucking knife, and I'm not interested in being involved.
Yeah.
And he was like, fucking white boy, motherfucker. I said, I'm just letting you know. You move in here, that's what it is.
That's how it is.
And he was like, well, I guess I better not have any trouble. I said, I mean,
there you go.
Exactly. That's
What a
where we're
smart
at.
man.
That's where we're at.
I had a guy in Honduras with me, Jose Montoya. We were good friends. And he got like 30 years. And he used to play football, soccer. And, a guy moves down 2 cells down from us, from Salvador. Short, fat kid, nice kid, tatted up. And, I'm talking to him. And one of the guys on the cell block was talking in front of his cell in the morning. He just got there. And he says to him, just kind of what you said earlier. He said it in a nice way. He says, listen, please, in the morning. He had a strong accent, the guy. He says, in the morning, can you talk somewhere else? Because he's out front of his door the whole time.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he says, yeah, okay, no problem. He does it again. Now the guy's talking to me, and I told Jose, I didn't call him Jose, I called him Montoya. I said to Montoya, this guy's serious. He said, you think? Now, Montoya's a serious guy. And I said, yeah, 100%. So the guy goes in his cell, I forget his name, and he's packing his stuff. And he says, John, it was nice meeting you, this and that. I knew it,
He's going to the hole.
He gets a razor,
Going to the hole.
and he razored the fuck out of him. And I told Montoya, I told you he's going to do something. I said, you could tell he was going to do something. He was a real guy.
Yeah.
No bullshit, very quiet. He wasn't like a big mouth. And, when he came over and said, hey, it was nice meeting you, brother, and I said, so this guy's going.
Oh, shit.
And he raised the fuck out of him. But,
Because he wouldn't shut up. He was disrespecting. He was trying to sleep or something. Right? He was trying to sleep.
He ain't sleeping. He was right. It's early in the morning. What are you doing?
Yeah.